I'm Billy Johnson from Adventure Bike Rider magazine, and this is the brand new BMW R1300 GS Adventure. Now this is a huge bike, it's whopping, and in the flesh it looks incredible. You know, there's been some debate online about the looks, but I think it looks amazing. And the question is, for such a big bike, it's 269 kilos fully fueled, has BMW made it feel even lighter and more agile on the road than the outgoing R1250 GS Adventure? Well, we're here in South Wales, we're going to go for a ride today, and let's find out what it's like to ride. The motorcycle market has changed a lot since the first GSA was launched. Since then, the GSA has gone on to become one of the best-selling bikes in the UK, and last year the 1250 GSA outsold every other motorcycle above 125cc. So you'd think it was a bold move by BMW to completely overhaul the GSA, because most people, when they're onto a winning formula, they tend not to mess with it. But despite the new looks and hardware, it feels very much the same as it always has. It has a huge, imposing road presence, but it still hustles along nicely. Its manners on sweeping roads like this one are excellent, flowing and ducking into corners. Unfortunately, off-road isn't on the schedule for today, despite being near the BMW off-road skill schools in South Wales. However, from the way it handles, and since it's easier than ever to reach the ground, it should be less intimidating than ever to ride off-road. And after riding the 1300 GS fairly extensively off-road in the UK and in Italy, I can say that's definitely the best iteration of the bike so far for trail riding. Obviously, if you're buying the GSA to exclusively ride off-road, you're either incredibly confident or you're out of your mind. Repeatedly picking up will slip a disc faster than you can say GS Adventure. But back to what 99% of people are going to be using this thing for, and that's road touring and crossing big distances, and this is the perfect machine for it. You know, I did some calculations, and with the 30-litre fuel tank, that gives me the chance to ride from my office in the Midlands to Marrakesh with just 5.5 tanks of fuel. That's pretty impressive. It's so comfortable to sit on with a perfectly relaxed and natural sitting position and a commanding view of the road. The problem is with the GSA is once you sit on one, you don't want to get off. So what do you get with the GS Adventure? Well, you get this big 30-litre fuel tank. This is the triple black, and this brushed aluminium is lovely on this one. And you get an extra 20mm suspension travel at both ends. You also get more fairings, larger front windscreen, and you get a heavy-duty subframe. And you get a lot of standard equipment as you get on the standard GS. But really, as a round-the-world adventure tourer, it's hard to beat this one. And what about the looks? Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I think this is a really, really bold but good-looking machine. You know, I think I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think in 5-10 years' time, people will look at this and be like, this was a pretty groundbreaking design for a motorcycle. You know, these big, square, imposing tanks. That's what you want from a GSA. You want it to have road presence and this imposing look. But, you know, people have not really taken to this, but I have, and I think it looks amazing. And going forwards, I think people will be like, yeah, actually, this is a really cool looking machine. BMW has managed to pull a bit of a rabbit out of the hat with this, making it feel so light. The old 1250 GS Adventure, once you got it rolling, it flowed beautifully, it handled really well. But when you're in the garage moving it around, you could feel that weight. On the base model, the seat height is between 870 and 890mm. With the new adaptive ride height, which lowers the suspension, it makes it palling around so easy. It feels like it's 269 kilograms fully fueled. It feels much lighter than that. It is pretty incredible, really. With the adaptive ride height options and the various low seats, the seat can be anywhere between 790mm and 915mm. Going through corners, you do feel that 30-litre fuel when it's topped up, but really it just feels like it's on rails. It flows so nicely through corners. It's quite amazing. So what's the price? The price is, for the base GSA, is just under £19,000. But once you start adding the options, and you will, you're looking at more 20, 21,000. Is it worth it over the standard GS? I think so. You know, previously, at the start of the day, if you'd asked me, I would have said, no, I think I'm going to prefer the standard GS. This is going to be too bulky, too heavy. But now, after riding it for a day, it is just so maneuverable, it's so light, the weight just disappears under you. It is really incredible how well BMW have managed to make this big machine so manageable. It's been a great day's riding here in South Wales. It hasn't rained once, which is pretty incredible. And Really, I've been blown away with the GSA and how it feels on the road. I thought I was going to prefer the standard GS 1300, but really this is the one that you want to get if you want a globe-busting around the world tourer. And can't wait to put some more miles on it in the next few months. If you want to test ride the 1300 GS Adventure for yourself, you can at the ABR Festival 2025. It's on this summer at Ragley Hall, so get your tickets today and take the GSA for a test ride.